All right, so as the scores come in, they're going to be moving on to the double barrier competition. In this one, athletes are going to be trying to clear over 2 barriers, named double barrier, using any technique they want. Again, this is coming down to points of contact, so the least amount of times you can touch it, the best.
The second wall, yeah. So you're not allowed to put your foot on the first wall this wide. Most people will be approaching it with a Kong. The walls are 9 feet apart, 40 inches high.
I know that we've seen a couple people trying to line up the clear or the flip over both. That would be the ideal amount of points. Again, this is based on difficulty and execution. So that difficulty level is going to be the highest when athletes interact with the obstacles the least amount. So, highest number of points, total clear. Second highest, one hand touches one thing, and one foot touches the second box. And it moves up from there to calm to clear, dive calm, and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. But again, if the athletes are looking sketchy, if they're not clearing it cleanly,
they're going to be docked on those execution points. Hope everyone at home is following along.
It sounds like at home in the chat, you guys are still getting a little bit of lag. I'm really sorry for that, guys. They're trying to tighten it up right now. They're getting things set up. I would not listen to Brianne LaFleur, who's telling you guys to put it on mute. It's kind of a mixed message. You're also saying what a great host I am, which is true. I would really recommend you guys stick around with us. We've got a lot to offer here in terms of what's going on. We have the beautiful faces of these 2 dapper Asian gentlemen. And
it's a take.
Some really, really great stuff coming up right now. You can see we got a packed house here at the Origins Parkour facility, kicking it up above Planet Bingo.
And these guys are about to get front row seat on people sailing through the air right in front of them. We are live from Vancouver, Canada, at Origins Parkour on 3rd floor of 2655 Main Street with the 2014 North American Parkour Championships.
If you've just joined us, we've got the best athletes from across the continent. We've got tons of people representing all over the U.S., from Canada, from Mexico. This event is all about taking the best, the pros in this sport, and giving them a chance to show off the ways that they've been trained in all the different aspects of the sport. Skills, speed, and style. That's what it's all about. So we just finished up the stride mission. We're tallying up the scores right now. It seems like it's going to be a toss-up between Dylan and Mich for those last ones. I'm pretty sure that Dante is coming in 3rd with that amazing run he did in the last one. I don't think anyone's going to be able to pass that up.
And he shouldn't let that slip away on that next event coming up here. Dante is definitely a performer tonight.
But I do know that the stride mission is a lot stronger for him than in the double barrier. I know he has that double Kong, but that's still 4 points of contact on the boxes. We have a couple athletes who are going for 0 points of contact on the box, which would be the highest level of difficulty. We'll see what people come through with.
It's really exciting because I remember when this was being set up, Rene had some doubts about whether this could be completely cleared over because the wall is a little bit higher. We get Olympic athletes going obviously much further distances on long jump, but they don't have to clear any walls. Here, we'll just have to see what happens.
I'm really excited. I can see Mich right now setting up for that front. I know he wants it. He's either thinking for a dive Kong or the front flip. I saw him warming up both in the practices. We'll see what he does.
Again, the difficulty is going to be matched by the way that they interact with these obstacles. If they clear it, it doesn't matter so much if they do a front and Kong front flip or just a Kong clear. It still means that they've only touched the first obstacle once and they've cleared it again. But where it lies in is the execution points. Someone who does a front flip over and manages to clear with no trouble, he obviously is in control of his body.
Yeah, and of course, this is still a very legit obstacle. That's wood and metal that makes this box up. We did see somebody go down really hard in the qualifiers. This event is taken from the street and it has real life consequences. So,
and you'll see that this is a rubber mat that's maybe about half an inch thick. might as well be, it is concrete underneath. There's not going to be any bounce. You're not going to have a wooden floor underneath giving you any give. It's just going to be like outside. You got hard surfaces. No mats is a luxury. This is real parkour.
This is about as real as it gets. I can see them getting ready to start lining up in the corner. We've got the same 12 athletes who competed in the stride mission, carrying through for the double barrier. All of their scores are going to be tallied up, the best two for each, the average, and that's going to be your rankings for the skill challenge. And again, these athletes are competing not only to bring home the beautiful glass trophies that you have this year, but also $1,000 in prize money for first, $500 for second, and $250 for third.
Fantastic, and obviously bragging rights. You have that on your resume, NAPC 2014 champion.
Absolutely, last year's champions, we saw Mich, Dylan, Jesse, these guys were coming out hard with some amazing skills, really blowing out of the water, and a lot of these are translating to other competitions, Apex Movement, Tempest Games. You're seeing a lot of these skills transfer over, and those are the guys who are doing really well.
I really appreciate seeing pro athletes, people who have done the tours, and you can see the experience in their game. They're keeping calm in any of the speed runs coming up. You're going to see some of the athletes more relaxed than the others, and that's going to reflect in their time.
Oh, absolutely. That confidence plays in so much, not only in their ability to stay comfortable, to stay relaxed and at the peak of their game, but overall just in their ability to stay focused. I think there's so much going on. We've got a ton of people here. There's music playing. There's really attractive live stream hosts. And all of that can...
The most attractive, arguably.
And it can get inside your head. It can shake you up.
But you should pay attention to the parkour. I'm just go on.
No, but absolutely. At the end of the day, those two walls are the same two walls that are outside on the street. It's the same thing that these guys are training back at home. They've got to be able to hone in their eyes, put on the blinders, and really focus on what the challenge is ahead of them.
And that's what I appreciate, again, about this challenge, because it's more representative of parkour as you might see it trained outside, as you might see it trained on the street, like, traditionally. So, you're not seeing any mats or any, like, helpers here. This is real parkour. As you can see, if you guys get a camera angle on the athletes practicing right now, they're only allowed to go a certain distance up to the wall. They're not allowed to do any practice runs, any little practice mini-cogs or whatever else. They're not touching that first wall. The first run that they do, that's going to be considered an attempt if they contact it.
I really wish you guys could be here just to see the scale of this vault. Specifically you, Ruian? I don't know.
Ruihoot.
I wish you could be here.
Oh, no, I think that's a Vietnamese name. I can't.
Well, I wish you guys could come here and see this vault in real life, because that 9-foot gap is measured between the inside. That's 2.75 meters. Huge gap, having to cover a ton of ground. And you've got an extra 8 inches on both sides of ledges.
Yes. That's something worth noting for sure, that we're not skipping anything here. The gap is 9 feet, and that's not including the width of the obstacles itself.
Overall, if you choose to try and clear the whole thing, I know Dylan Baker is looking at that front flip. I saw him warming it up. That's over 10 feet he's going to have to clear just to go up in front of it so he doesn't smack his face on the sandpaper. Coming down on the other side. And to make it even crazier, he's got the front row of the audience right there next to him.
This is going to be really exciting. We're going to see how he handles this. We saw him perform really well in qualifiers, and all the more likely he's going to outperform his side flip from last year.
Yeah, that was a huge move, one of the biggest ones. The only thing that we were able to dock him on was for putting his hand down and doing that vault out at the end. That's what kept him in line with Johan, with a huge calm front clear over the box. They're going to be really focusing on who's got that control and of course, those points of contact.
Again, this is what's one of those great things, is that this is not called a Kong challenge. Most people will use the Kong approach here, but the organizers wanted to put as few restrictions as possible on athletes. Hey, if you want to do big bounds all the way, you can. If you want to just clear the whole thing with a flip, you can. Only rule is clear that gap, don't put your feet on that first wall.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that really one of the coolest things about this competition is that the organizers have really focused on trying to put as few restrictions as possible, while still making it an exciting competition, both for the athletes to compete in and for the audience to watch. So by saying it's not a Kong competition, that may be the best way for a lot of people to complete the course. It's really up to the athlete to use their best skills. Someone like Dylan Baker, who broke both of his wrists at one point, had to have surgery on both of them. He's got almost no flexibility in his wrists right now. This is a way for him to show that he still has the level of skill. If he came up to this obstacle in real life, he's got.
And again, this is just the level of problem solving that you may see in parkour. If you broke both your wrists and you still want to train and you still want to do big sketchy stuff, we're not docking you points for that. We just want you to clear the gap. This is something, definitely a mixed bag. We're looking forward in the future to have more women show up in these qualifiers. If you guys could have seen it, it would have been great. They didn't just make the cut. It's a cutthroat competition. We had like 24 people show up in qualifiers, and now we're just down to 9 and 12 on skill and speed, respectively. So that just goes to show you this is where this competition's going. Camilo is about to go up.
Camilo getting ready for his first vault. Let's see what he chooses to do here. I'm guessing he's probably going to be going for a Kong pre, Kong crane.
Camilo, are you ready?
Camilo giving the thumbs up. Here he goes. Ooh, huge Kong pre. Doesn't stick it, but he does bounce over. I know he was talking about trying to get to that Kong safety or Kong speed vault out. Let's see if he's able to pull that through next one, because he didn't show a lot of control on that landing, but definitely a ton of power.
Again, that's with the format. He's lucky he has 2 more attempts, so you'll get the best score on that one.
All right, here goes Gareth.
Whoa! Kong front with
huge Kong
clear.
Ton of distance, not a lot of height, forcing him to sort of safety speed out. They're going to take him down on some difficulty for that, but he also got a lot of extra difficulty for doing that Kong front. Some athletes are choosing that style not just for the look of it, but also because it allows you to get your hips a lot higher, making that clear more viable. Joey Adrian stepping up now.
We have Joey Adrian. Gareth is on deck. Judges, are you ready?
Let's see what Joey chooses to do on this ball.
Joey, are you ready? And start.
Oh, very clean tuck.
Huge power, easily inches shorter than Gareth, who chose that same move, but Joey able to execute with such great technique. And that's why we have something judging on the execution, because even though they had the same level of difficulty, it was just executed so flawlessly by Joey Adrian.
I don't even know what he's going to do for his next attempt.
Yeah.
Cleaner, higher, that's how Joey does it.
The only thing he could hope to do is try to take off one of those points of contact. If he could touch down front or do a single up front with no hands. Great score for Joey Adrian.
Judges, are you ready? Jared, are you ready?
All right, Jared Davids from Origins Parkour stepping up now. Huge power in last year's Kong challenge. Oh.
Same choice for Kong precision attempt.
Yeah, he's looking really upset with that. I know that he wanted to go for that Kong clear. That Kong clear definitely should have been right inside of his ability, but not happy with it. It seems like he just didn't get the set he wanted. One of the things is, for someone like Joey Adrian, for certain moves, having a higher vault can be better, but it can be very difficult for taller athletes like Jared or Mich to have to reach down to get to those lower vaults.
Are you ready? And start.
Comes Darryl Stingley. I know he wants that Kong clear. Oh!
Did he get running?
Darryl coming through with that Kong pre. Looked like he was probably going to overshoot it because he was going for that clear, so he goes and chooses the front tuck as a way to demonstrate that he's still in control. Something that someone like Camilo could have chosen to do, but didn't quite have the control to display.
May have just undershot it on that one, yeah.
I know that he wants to go for that Kong safety or Kong clear.
Darryl scoring a 153.3. Give it up for Darryl. Up next, we have Ken Johns with Dante on deck. Ken Johns coming from Unparalleled.
I really think that's worth reiterating again. With some of these taller athletes, they do have to lean down to get that prime distance.
Ken, are you ready?
Because ideally, in any kind of Kong acceleration distance, you want your shoulders almost matched up to the height of the wall. Here you get that set.
Oh, Ken just barely undershooting that concrete, not able to hold on. All right, Dante Grazioli coming up on this. We'll see how he's able to hold it out. I saw him hit that double Kong in practice. I know he's got it down clean. We'll see if he just goes safe first or tries to hold out for another harder ball. That's going to be huge. That's definitely something that can help push him from that third place position back into the top two.
So I wonder if Dylan's jealous of getting his thunder stolen.
That was a move that we did not think many people were going to be able to pull out. Seeing Dylan do it in the qualifiers definitely showed us that it was possible. Now seeing multiple competitors going for the Kong front or the straight front over.
It's gonna come down to execution points, so it's really down to our one.
It's gonna be a close one.
Dante scoring a 184.3.
Great score for Dante. That's gonna be
next we have
huge.
Mich, and on deck we have Dylan Baker.
Mich stepping
Are
up.
you ready? Mich, are you ready? And start.
All right, Mich setting up for something big.
I'm standing up for this. Good time.
Way over the box. No problem. That's what this is all about. It's not just about coming in here and having the skills. It's about being able to hit it on cue when you need it. And that's what Mich did right then. He knew he needed a big move, big score on the board. And he handled his business.
I'm beginning to think he can do something almost bigger. So we're gonna have to push this up for next year.
They might be adding some new obstacles, spikes, perhaps.
Yeah, huge alligators in between.
Dylan Baker. Judges, are you ready? Dylan, are you ready? And start.
It's Dylan. Just barely.
Just barely.
Dylan starting from a lot closer than Mich, basically giving himself a shorter run-up. I don't know if that's his style or if he's choosing to do that to try and show that he has more power, but it didn't really work out for him. I don't think it was as clean as Mich is. I would be really surprised if his score is as high as that.
And again, that's not necessarily going to reflect in the judges' scoring if you give yourself less of a run-up, unless it pays off at the very end. So it would definitely be safer for him to get a little more speed.
That 173 for Dylan Baker, taking him down into third place, just underneath Mich and Dante.
All right, in fifth place we have Camilo with 141.6. In fifth place we have Darryl Stingley with 153.3. In fourth place we have Adrian N with 171.6. In third place we have Dylan Baker with a 173.3. Mich with a 180 in second place. And Dante with 184.3. Sitting in fourth place. Here we come for Camilo's second attempt at the double barrier challenge. Judges, are you ready? Camilo, are you ready? And start.
Here goes Camilo. Way over the top. Didn't get his set at all. He's laughing it off. He knows that wasn't his best job. He's going to save it for his last one.
I think it's really important still not to get your mental game thrown off when guys throw down big moves. You still want to get those points back because it might have been good for you. It might be too late for Camilo, but this is something to learn from as an athlete.
Definitely. I mean, you're always going to be seeing people throw down amazing stuff.
Again, inspiration. At 18 years old, he is doing this calm front.
You can see not getting full extension, not getting the set he wants. I think there's a big difference too that a lot of these athletes train a lot of these techniques in a gymnastic style gym with spring floors, with soft mats. It's a totally different mental game to bring it here. We're on hard surface, hard floors, and you got the attention of this whole crowd on you. So Joey Adrian made up a ton of ground in the overall skills competition in this double barrier challenge, putting himself into 4th place. Let's see if he can push it to try and get himself to make up for his position in the stride mission.
All right, judges, are you ready for Joey's second attempt? Joey, are you ready? And start.
Here comes Joey Adrian. Big run up, tons of speed.
Does an extra front for finesse. We really don't need that resume in front of there, do we?
Let's see if I can catch the replay on that Kong front over the block. Very clean. Just adding in that extra front flip just to show that he's got that.
Joey scoring a 174 on his second attempt. Gareth Davis is up next with Darryl Stingley on deck.
Yeah, that's got it.
Judges, are you ready?
All right.
Gareth,
Here comes Jared Davis. Let's see if he can get that
Again, the
ball
sword
in the first
competitor from
round.
Vancouver.
Jared sticking that collar pretty really clean. Adds the front in just to show he's got it. Not going to put him in the podium position, but it definitely was an improvement on that last run.
Managed to stick that precision lower on that hip position, but he was able to push out of it with a front flip for the crowd.
All right, Dale stepping up now. I know he's feeling a lot of weight on his shoulders. He was telling me last night, you know, he loves competing. He loves the energy. I think he just needs more experience in it. But I think overall this competition so far has been a great opportunity for him because he can see that he's playing at the same level as these pros from around the world.
Darryl, are you ready for your second attempt? And
All right,
start.
here he goes. Ooh, single step out of it. Upping the level of difficulty. Looks like they're going to move in. They've got to make an adjustment on the box.
There was some, yeah, it's a lot of force going in on that second box, so they may be adjusting that to make sure it doesn't budge. It's not going to tip, it's a heavy box, but it does slide when you start throwing guys close to 200 pounds flying across the room like that. That will get him some decent difficulty points.
It's definitely a step up from his last one. That Kong pre-front gave him the highest score of all the people who didn't clear the box. This Kong stride is definitely a good direction for him to go. He's going to have to hold it and really push his legs through, keeping his hips up if he wants to move up to another level. That extra point of contact just keeping him at a lower skills level.
It'll be interesting to see what decision he makes for his final attempt.
Dante Grazioli N. Judges, are you ready?
All right, here comes Kent Johns.
Judges, are you ready? Excellent. Kent, are you ready? And start.
Kent coming in really heavy on that Kong pre. Definitely wanting to clear it. He had that tuck he was holding hard. He didn't even extend for that landing.
Yeah, I could see that he was holding that tuck really hard. It was just, rough.
It's just a huge gap. These guys are really having to push it, putting a ton of speed in, a ton of power. It's just about finding that right spot where you can get that set, get your hips up in the air so that you have the power to do something else over that block at the end.
Dan John coming in with a score of 132.7.
Interested to see.
Up next we have Dante, followed by Mich.
So we're going to see if Dante is going to repeat his. Dante is stepping out happy with his score.
Are you ready?
I don't blame him for that. I know he's also competing in speed and freestyle. I think he's just calling it off, saying he's going to stick with that score. It's going to be really hard for him to improve that anyway. I think that Mich,
and he's
a huge competitor, is going to want to push it, try to do something. Let's see what he pulls out here.
Mich, are you ready? And start!
So much power.
We're going to get some execution points on that. He had that swan dive, straight, arms out, lots of control.
I don't think he could get a better score on that technique. The only way
I'd be
would be,
surprised.
I don't know what they would want to see from him to try and improve on that.
I'd be upset if I didn't see something close to a perfect 200 on that one.
He scores a 187. Give it up for Mich.
187 for that time here with Dante Grazioli. I think they're saying pretty much
Judges,
that
are you ready? Dylan, are you ready?
I'm not sure.
And start!
I'd give that a 190 at least. Trying to one up a little more height on that front.
huge move from Dylan Baker. Let's see if I can catch the replay on that still. Dylan looking so casual, stepping up to this move, generating the power. Huge set, and steps out.
Very controlled and
Giving him the most. Really interesting to see. He did demonstrate a ton of control. I think having a shorter run-up was a great choice in the end because he didn't need it, and it overall demonstrated that, you know, he had the ability to push it harder than the rest of those guys. And when you're doing the most difficult move available for this event, every little bit is going to count, and he pulled it out there.
we're going to see how this adds up in the end. There is one final run.
Final run, I think we're going to see a lot more of the athletes trying to pull back and not throwing down on it. I'm betting that Darryl, Dante, probably not going to go again. Camilo setting up. Coming in with that calm crew again. Still looking a little out of control. I think messing around a little bit with the audience just to give him some fun, but I think overall he knew he wasn't going to come through with anything as big as what was going down, so he's trying to play it safe. And you know, hopefully we'll see him again next time.
It's a really rough precision to take because I do remember seeing from his Facebook earlier, his foot was bugging him at the qualifiers. So having to take those precisions each time, what a trooper.
Gareth, are you ready? And start.
All right, Gareth Norvell stepping up again. Let's see if he goes for that Kong front.
Messed up his approach.
Yeah, his approach was totally off. Knew he needed more power. Was trying to add in a few more speed instead of trying to go for more height. I think he just wasn't able to control that much speed.
Up next, we have Joey Adrian with Jared Davis on deck. Joey's going to take a pass on his third step. Up next, we have
I don't blame Joe for that. He's got his high probably difficulties he's going to get. He's got speed coming up next and style after that. So seeing as he's trying to compete in all three events, best to take any rest he can get.
Judges, are you ready? Jared, are you ready? And start.
All right, here comes Jared Davis. Getting himself set. Jared not getting the power that he wants. Coming in really low. I think he's just not getting his set.
Yeah, his approach had a bit of a stumble. He had to force some steps in there. He was trying to stay low, trying to stay focused, but didn't pull through, unfortunately.
You can see a lot of these guys just trying to go all out for the last one. Gareth Norvell not even being able to clear to the second one because he had too much speed. Jared Davis not getting the power he wanted. Let's see what Darryl Stingley has to offer here.
Give it up for Darryl.
All right. Darryl really wanting that calm clear. Tons of height and power. Just couldn't get his legs where he needed him. He's not happy with that, but he's still having fun.
But you can really see a lot of that residual power coming through. He's like, he was hoping for some kind of finisher at the end.
And like I said, Darryl's also got to hold himself out because he's competing in speed and style after this. So if he's not going to have a clean, clear, better than to do this than get hurt, trying to mess around with something stupid that's not going to get him as many points as anyway. All right, here's Kent Johns. Very clean, calm three. Stick.
I would call that very solid. Just
yeah, he's probably going to get maximum points for execution. Difficulty maybe not as high as a lot of the other athletes that are scoring really well here, but overall, still a very clean run from him.
something to just appreciate again. Level of parkour here is not your everyday. Even though some of these people may be running a little bit lower to the top, doesn't mean they're not doing exceptional stuff.
Just a reminder for the audience to stay a safe distance away from all of these structures. We want to keep everyone in this building as safe as possible today. Up next we have Dante. But judges, are you ready? Dante, are you ready? And start.
Wow, Dante stepping in to do another move. Let's see what he does here.
Did anyone hear that? Because I didn't. That was a soft landing on that front.
Even nicer than his first one. Huge move for Dante Grazioli. I think he actually might have improved on his first run. Interesting choice, taking off the second one to let himself rest, and then coming back to do the same move, just a little bit more control.
That's the kind of decision making that is so fun to watch. It's like taking advantage of the format and doing what works for you.
196.7. Perfect score.
That's a sleep Dante Grazioli.
Moving into first place. Amazing, amazing movement. All right, here goes Mich.
Wait, it's not an attempt. So Mich nixes his last attempt.
Yeah, not getting the run-up he wants, choosing not to go for it. Definitely a smart call. Nobody wants to get injured on that last move. He's got speed courses ahead of him. Dylan Baker
Mich acts like a professional. Go big or go home. Oh, getting flashbacks to 2013.
Yeah. Looks like he was trying to spin out for that side flip, maybe to improve the execution level, show more control, but he's not able to get the power he wants.
That's something I'd like to see again.
Let's see what the judges think of Dylan's last pass.
All right, so that is the skill competition. Judges are going to be adding up the best scores. Looks like it's going to be Dylan, Dante, and Mich trying to work it out for our top three. They're definitely the favorites moving into it. No surprise.
And while those three seem like gimmies, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it shakes out. Who's going to take the top? Who's going to take second? Who's going to take third? See if anyone's going to be upset with this decision.
We're talking about the podium because all the athletes want to go home with some of that glass. But at the end of the day, everybody just threw down super hard. It's amazing to see. I always love seeing people push it, try and get those points, even if they're not going to make it through to the finals, even if they're not going to be in the top three. But I do wonder about something like athletes like Joey Adrian, whose really strongest chance to win are in the style and maybe in the speed he can place as well, to try and go for the skills comp where he's probably not going to make it in the top three. Do you think it's a smart choice?
If anything, he's got something for his demo reel and some real street cred just for going on the same toe-to-toe with guys literally like almost 2 feet taller than him.
Yeah, absolutely. I give him my respect. I give him my props. But as a judge in something like the freestyle event, I am not taking into account the fact that he chose to do another event. As far as I'm concerned, that's a completely different sport.
Definitely, yeah. And let's hope that he's not gassed out. However, Joey Adrian just never seems to run out. He's got energy up the wazoo.
Yeah, but even someone as explosive and springy as Joey Adrian is going to run out of juice eventually. I know he was still throwing down yesterday trying to get ready for this comp, and I know he was killing it during the qualifiers because to qualify for all these events, he basically had to do this audition or this whole competition already once.
The crowd's moving into a short intermission now while we change events, and we're getting ready for the speed event.